Okay, great. Hi.
Hi,
Hi.
doctor. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay. So why don't you just tell me a little bit about yourself
I am 27 years old. My name is Anjana. I've completed my MBA and I'm doing trading as my job. And I'm trading currently in Bangalore.
first? Okay, that's great. Okay. So I'm Chirag, so I'm hoping yeah. Okay. So let's just directly dive right into it. So we are here to talk about your fitness and nutrition. And just to have a basic idea of what is the current state of that for you. Can you just describe for me what you do right now for
I try to involve as much of physical activity I can, but the thing is limiting me is that I'm not energetic enough to do it throughout the day. So my daily activity consists of just walking and cycling.
that? Okay. And you do that daily?
Not daily. Again, I cannot be consistent throughout. So at least walking, I try to include in at least a 20 to 30 minutes.
Okay. But are you doing that daily or you're not doing that daily?
I am doing it daily. Walking, yes.
Okay. And that is early in the morning or in the evenings?
During in the evening, mostly in the evening.
Okay. So after your work.
Yes.
Okay. And is this like a routine walk? You're just strolling through the streets, or is this like a little bit more active cardio where it's a fast walk at least, or it's a jog?
It's usually slow walking, I would say. Um,
Okay. And any health issues that I should know
I have PCOS. Other than
about?
that, I'm not aware of anything right.
Okay. And your sugars are under control.
I don't think so.
Okay. And you're not taking any medication for that.
No, no.
Okay, great. So right now you're just involved in what is probably slow walking for about 20 to 30 minutes on a daily basis, some occasional cycling,
Yeah.
right? And anything for nutrition as such? Like, do you do anything for your diet, or is there
Diet,
just whatever's
no,
available?
actually, not very consistent about it. Usually, what's made in Indian household, that's what I'm having right now.
Okay, so if can you just describe for me what you ate yesterday, for example, throughout the day?
Yesterday, it was mostly rice, idlis, and at night, again, carbohydrate with chana and stuff. Today, it was again a rice in the lunch and some curry with dal and again some vegetables. Morning was consist of dosa and I have coffee also for 2 times a day.
Right. Great. So that I think gives me a very clear idea of what we can do to help improve on that. We'll talk about two particular things. One will be about what you can do with exercise, and one will be about what you can do with nutrition. With exercise, okay, so a primary concern for you will definitely be your PCOS and the other problems associated with that, including insulin resistance and the metabolic problems that can come along with it. Apart from that, just overall general health. That's also important, right? So one thing would be I suggest that you find some way to introduce resistance training into your exercise schedule. The idea that this whole thing should take a lot of time is not exactly correct. You can you can just do it for about 1 hour a day. Even 30 minutes of cardio and 30 minutes of resistance training is enough. Okay, so that and what you need to do in resistance training is not that you're imagining, okay, I have to go to the gym, I have to lift really heavy weights, or I have to do a lot of bicep curls and push-ups and bench presses. No, it does not have to be that. Resistance training is anything where you have resistance. You can use your own body. You can do some body weight training. You can also use resistance bands, so you can do that at home. You can use lightweight dumbbells at home. That is also fine. So just a short resistance training sequence, that's good enough. A minimum of at least 2 times a week. So it's not a lot. You can do like a upper body resistance training day one in one session and a lower body resistance training day for like another session. So that's good enough. If you want, if you feel like you can do more, that's always better, but a minimum of 2 resistance training days a week is definitely necessary. Apart from that, cardio is important. Just slowly walking around isn't really going to cut it. So you have to put in a little bit of effort to do cardio. I would suggest that you do it in the morning because I think I remember you saying that you do feel a little tired throughout the day and
Yes,
you don't
this
have.
is something I still struggle with. Yesterday, I remember I went out with my family. By the time I'm home, I just couldn't push another hour. I just had to sleep off. The energy level is very bad and it's crashing towards the end of the day.
Yeah. So the thing is, there are a lot of different factors which can contribute to that. So I'm not sure how many health factors you have gotten evaluated so far. Have you checked up on your vitamin and mineral levels and your hemoglobin? I'm not sure.
No.
So yeah, so that might be one thing you might want to check on. So just usually in cases of a little excessive fatigue, we want to look at those things. If those are normal, then we can consider some other factors as well. But I would suggest just go and get your hemoglobin and vitamin levels checked. Okay, if those are normal, then you go ahead and think about the other things I'm talking about right now. So overall, honestly speaking, as you go on, exercise will improve your stamina. So if you uh, get up in the morning, do a little bit of exercise, overall you will feel that your energy levels are better through the day. It is going to improve over time. The second thing is your diet is probably leading to some of this tiredness that you're feeling. So what you're doing is you're getting up in the morning and having a very high calorie and high fat diet, like with the dosa, for example. So I would suggest you instead try to make it a little bit more of a high protein diet. Are you a vegetarian or a non-vegetarian?
No, I'm not interested.
Yeah. So what I'm I'm not really going to describe every single protein source that you can take. So there's a lot of different sources available for that. But I would suggest that in the morning you consider taking a little bit of a higher protein diet. Okay, and bringing down the carbs and fats. Okay, so normal Indian diet's not very good at that. You can't really rely on a normal Indian diet. A decent. There are multiple different options. It really depends on what you want to do. You can do something with oats. You can do something with uh, just even just like protein shakes. You can mix them with milk and drink that instead.
Oh,
That's also okay. Eggs are a great option. Okay, so right now, that's what I'm having a little bit of a crisis with how many eggs you can eat. But egg whites are great, and at least one egg yolk a day is, I think, a really good option right now for protein intake. So that's also a great option early in the mornings. Throughout the day, you want to improve your basically your macros and how they are throughout the day. So even for lunch and for dinner, you want to balance your meals a little bit. Okay. So maybe bring down the carb portions and take a little bit more protein, a little bit more fiber, a little bit more fat. That's also okay. So whatever calories and fat you bring down early in the morning, you can distribute it and take it over the rest of the day. But I would recommend that you try to ensure that you're taking enough protein. So, I'm sorry, did you mention your weight anytime? I did not.
60 kgs.
Right. So with 60 kgs, and you are just an active individual, not really looking to gain weight, gain muscle, 1 gram per kg per day is actually okay. So just taking 60 to 70 grams of protein for you should be enough. And that's that's a pretty decent goal. It should be very easy to achieve that, 60 to 70 grams of protein. So you can do that with protein powders. That's not completely necessary. If you're not getting it with all your other sources of protein combined, you can think about adding that. Okay. If you get, but it is very easy to get 60 to 70 grams of protein with just your natural food. Okay. Your wheat sources, just your rotis and your breads will have enough protein. Oats have a significant amount of protein actually. Then your eggs obviously are a very good protein source. Whatever meat you eat also will be a great protein source. So all of that give you 60 to 70 grams easily. A very good idea for PCOS and insulin resistance is to take a low calorie diet. Okay, so you want to So the thing is, I understand that it is difficult for people to count calories. And I don't really expect people to count calories unless I have a particular goal in mind. What you can do is just incorporate these changes, uh, this a little bit of a different diet that you're going to follow from now on. And then once you do that, and then once you're following that diet, just check your weight. Is it increasing? Is it decreasing? Okay. And once you've achieved the
So
weight
how
where it is,
exactly should I check my weight?
you can check it 3 times a week. Do you have a weighing machine at home? That is the important thing.
No, but I'll try to get
Okay.
one.
Yeah. So that would be a very good idea. If you get a weighing machine, you measure it 3 times a day at the same time every day. I prefer early in the morning before you've eaten anything. So do that 3 times a day. Average that over the week. So it takes all your different fluctuations into account. So once you've averaged it, you get an idea every week. Right? Is it increasing or is it decreasing? So what? Yeah. So once you find that it is not increasing and not decreasing and is staying the same, so what you're eating are probably your maintenance calories. Those are the calories required just to maintain your weight. Okay. So once you know that you're at your maintenance calories, just see what you've eaten throughout the day and put that into any calorie tracker. Okay. You can use Healthify Me, MyFitnessPal, whatever. That will tell you how many calories I've eaten. So now you get an idea. Okay, you know what, I'm eating these many calories. Don't have to measure it every day, just once is enough. So now you know these are your maintenance calories. And then you can do whatever you want to reduce. A low calorie diet doesn't have to be like you half the amount of calories. You can just go 500 calories lower than that. So, so that will help by improving your metabolic profile, all your lipid parameters and your metabolic profile will improve. Insulin resistance will decrease with a low calorie diet. Apart from that, there are a lot of studies about what you want to do with nutrition and PCOS. A little bit of a low fat diet also, less keeping fats below 30% is also found to be really helpful. Maybe somebody has suggested a little bit of a higher intake of fish. That can be helpful. Supplements are also found to be useful. You can take multivitamins, particularly vitamin D, omega-3 fatty acids. Okay. Probiotics are also useful. Okay. Um, then apart from that, avoid smoking. So I don't know if you smoke or not, but if you do, you want to avoid that. Okay. Do you have any more questions that you want to ask?
Should I be avoiding any kind of food like dairy or anything?
No, there's no problem as such with dairy. The whole idea is that if you do everything in moderation, it's more or less okay. Okay. So there is a concept of avoiding high glycemic index food. So a food which causes your blood sugar to spike. So white rice, bread, things like this, a lot of refined carbohydrates. These are things you might want to avoid. I know it is not feasible. For example, a South Indian to really ask someone to avoid white rice. Okay, but you can try to bring it down. So food with high glycemic index, try to bring it down a little bit in your diet. That would be helpful.
Then what should I be like focusing on? Should I lose weight or should I look up on putting more weight on? Or what should be my primary?
Right, that's a good question. It really depends on what is your goal and what you think currently is your physical state. Okay, so overall, the idea is that since PCOS does lead to insulin resistance, you want to avoid that as much as possible. So a high calorie diet or trying to gain weight is going to lead to the risk of insulin resistance. So at least like maintenance calories or slightly low calories might be
So
overall
how
beneficial
much
to you.
calories should I consume?
That I cannot tell you an exact number. So that is not exactly how nutrition works. You will have to figure out what is your maintenance calories. Okay, there is a formula for that. You can take your weight, for example, as you said, is 60 multiplied by 22 and then multiplied by an activity multiplier. So if you're doing regular, like for example, I would use an activity multiplier of 1.7 for myself. If somebody is doing just walking around 30 minutes a day and not much else, it might be 1.3, 1.4. Right. The thing is, this just gives you a random number. That does not mean that's the actual calories. Okay. So once you have that number, you can try eating those many calories and see what happens. If your weight is going up, that means it's above your maintenance calories. If your weight is going down,
Actually, I've never felt a weight gain or weight loss. It's always been a constant. It's always been 60 kg throughout my uh, from 20s, I would say.
okay. So that obviously means you're probably eating around your maintenance calories anyway, right? But we are trying to change what you're going to eat. Okay. So you're going to try to increase your protein. You're going to bring down your carbs. You're going to bring down your fat. You're going to bring down the total amount of calories you're eating, right? A little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
So overall with time, uh, I'm not asking you to continue on a low calorie diet.
Okay.
So once you feel like your energy levels have improved, and once you feel like whatever other issues you're facing are a little bit better, you can start coming back to a normal calorie diet. And once, yeah, so there are actually tests out there which measure insulin resistance. If you're genuinely interested, you can go get those tests done and see if you have insulin resistance and if you need to work on that. So you can track those markers. Once your diet helps you improve those, you can go back to a normal calorie diet. That's also an okay. Right. I think you also had a question about cravings.
Yes. I had.
Yeah. So can you expand on that a little bit?
Um, so what happens is like it doesn't happen every month. I would say three times in an year. I get this very bad cravings. So I end up eating whatever I see because I get it very hard to control my cravings. So it can go up to 1 week or 2 week. And then when I get my period on, it's the cramps, the pain, everything is really bad. So what can be the cause, right? And how can I control it, or any healthy options I can choose from?
Right. So actually, premenstrual cravings are a phenomenon. Like it's known. It happens right before your period. It is a well-known thing that you can get cravings. Okay. So do you before these cravings happen, do you restrict yourself from eating anything, or are you eating
No,
normal diet?
no, it's a
Okay,
normal.
normal diet. So it's not like
Usually,
you
I
are.
don't eat much sugar. I don't like the sweet, uh, like desserts or very heavily sweeted. I don't like it, so I don't have it. But when it comes to my cravings, I crave that the most, like cakes or chocolates.
Yeah. Right. And how? So you're saying it might even last up to a week,
Yes.
and you just eat everything that you see. Okay. Now the thing
So
is,
when I experience this very good, very bad kind of craving, I have more cramps.
okay. So obviously there's a link over there. Okay, and that the now the thing is, it is a little bit difficult to really deal with cravings. Like honestly speaking, there's no particular intervention that is known to work very well. The thing is, you have to first of all accept, okay, you're having these cravings, and then so a lot of times what we do is, okay, no, I'm craving sugar. I will try not to have sugar, and then finally we break down, and then we end up eating a lot of the sugar. Okay, so that is usually what happens with cravings. The thing is, if you know that is going to happen, like in your case, you know that you're getting these cravings that you're going to ultimately break down. You can consume small amounts. Okay, so instead of finally breaking down and you consume a large amount of junk and you consume a large amount of sugar, you can have a small amount. Okay, and since you're craving something sweet, it's okay to have something sweet. It's not going to be the end of the world for you. Okay, you can have a little bit of sugar. It's fine. If you're looking for something healthier, I would suggest fruits are a very good option. Okay, so uh, like fruits will be sweet and hopefully will be able to take care of the craving for you. But a lot of it is psychological. You have to realize that you're having these cravings. You have to accept the fact, okay, I'm having these cravings. I'm going to have something sweet, and maybe you can eat like one cookie or one small piece of a brownie or something, and decide, okay, you know what, that's all I'm going to do. Okay, instead of thinking, okay, I don't want to do anything, I don't want to eat anything, I want to avoid this craving completely, and then you break down after like 6 or 7 hours, and then you just eat the entire packet of cookies. So, like, don't do that. If you know it is happening, it's okay. Just accept it is happening. Eat a small amount, okay, and that will help tide it over for a few hours at least. Hopefully, longer than that. Once you feel like okay, again you're getting these cravings, again you can eat a small amount. That's okay because you know it's going to end at some point in time. It's not endless cravings that you'll have forever.
So,
Okay, do you have any more questions?
no, I think I've covered my questions.
Okay, thank you so much. It was very great to have you on here, and I hope that
Thank you for helping
raised
me
the start
out.
problems.
I'll
Great,
surely I'll follow this and I'll give you an update on this.
great. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Have
Thank
a
you.
very nice evening.
Have a great day.